Hi everyone, it's Annette and welcome back to Coto Verde. We're in the middle of a heat wave here and it's absolutely wonderful. But what I'm doing this morning is I am going to gather some things from my garden. It's kind of like a little tidy up, but also what I'm doing is looking for things that I think are going to look really good in arrangements and when they're dried. And there are a lot of seed heads around at the moment, you know, things that were flowering in May and June, that if you cut them now and then save them for autumn and winter, then you're going to have something special to add to your arrangements, or just create an arrangement with just dried flowers. So come with me and let's have a look what I can find in the garden. So this is the big border behind me here, and I've got about 4 things I think that I'd like to collect from here. So the first thing is the Briza Maxima. So the Briza Maxima looks really good. For me it flowers from when I sow it, it flowers in the spring, so it's really cute to add to my ranunculus and anemone arrangements. But at this stage of the year they've gone brown, so actually this is the perfect time for me to collect them all, and then I can use them as a sparkly thing in my autumn and winter arrangements. And then the other thing that I'm collecting from here is the Nigella seed heads, and these vary quite a lot depending upon which variety of Nigella you plant, and the ones that I planted actually were self-seeded, so I didn't plant them at all. So I'm quite restricted this year on the Nigella seed heads, and so there's only one type, but that's not a bad thing. They're really cute, they've got like a nice purple stripe, and I'm going to pick those. And they dry really nicely. They kind of dry more papery, they don't stay green, but they look really pretty. And then the other thing that I'm going to collect from this flower bed here behind me are some Allium seed heads. And Allium seed heads look really cool in arrangements, but actually they come into their own during the festive season. And I don't know how everyone feels about this, but you can spray your Allium seed heads with like a silver spray or a gold spray, and then they look spectacular in arrangements because they're kind of like this pop of sparkle, like a little sort of firework. So just wanted to show you what I've collected so far. So here, this is the Briza Maxima. Look at the dangly sparkliness. And then I picked the Nigella. And they're kind of cool. They'll go more papery white than this. And then I've got the Alliums. And there are loads of different kinds of Alliums. I didn't pick very many of these because I already collected some last weekend. So I've got quite a few of those already. But the Allium Gigantium are just going over, and when they've gone over, I'll probably pick some of those seed heads, and they're more round. So these Alliums, which I think are Purple Sensation, can you see how they don't point downwards at all? So the Gigantiums are fully round, whereas these are sort of semicircles, but I like them just as much. And it's nice not to have something quite so big. Sometimes it's good to have like a sparkle that's not so huge. So I love these. With the Nigella, there are lots of like little bits of, you don't want that allium leaf. So there are lots of little bits of leafy stuff, and I pull these off, because what's going to happen with these is when they dry, they are just going to crinkle and make a big mess. So I take off all the little bits of wispy greenness that are in the way. Not in the way, but you know. So I leave it as much of a bare stem as I can. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but is it focusing on me? But basically I'm just cleaning it up. And so what I will do also is I snip this off, and then I'll snip off the little annoying ones at the bottom. So I've basically cleaned the stem up so that it's just got Nigella seed heads at the top. So what I'm going to do is grab some of the giant Scabious seed heads behind me. So when the giant Scabious has finished flowering, what you end up with is this little ball. And so I just clean these up by taking off any remaining petals, and then you've got this fluffy ball and a nice long stem. So here we go. Those are the giant Scabious seed heads. So I'm just going to sit down with my coffee and clean those up. And obviously I take off, you know, any leaves that are down the bottom of the stem. The other thing that I also want to mention is that actually doing this to your giant Scabious is dual purpose, because what you're doing is you're collecting seed heads to use later, or you can use them now. I mean, they're kind of cool, but collecting them and cutting them like this, actually what you're doing is deadheading, and that will tell the plant to start producing more flowers. So it's a really good idea to just go around and deadhead anyway. So I'm down at the other end of the big bed now, so I was further up there picking a few minutes ago, and down at this end I've got the Honesty, which is the Latin name's Lunaria, and this is, let me show you, but it's the most amazing dried seed, and I'm sure you've seen them for sale in shops, but they're ever so beautiful when they've completely dried and they're pearlescent. But let me pick some and show you. This is what they look like when they're dried. And you may think that this looks really ropey and kind of dirty and disgusting, but the reason is because actually what you're interested in is taking off the outer dried petals. So inside each one are the seeds, next year's seeds. I'm really hoping it's focusing on that. And let me grab one that's fallen on the floor and I'll show you how to clean these up so that they look like the ones that you find in the shops. So here are two that fell off. You don't need your snips. Let me put that one there. So when it's completely dry, what you do is, obviously you leave them on the stem, these have fallen off. So it's 3 layered, and what you want to do is take off the 2 outer layers, and that will release the seeds, which you can throw in your flower bed. So what I've done is just found an edge, and I'm peeling the outer layer away, and you discard that, and then those are your seeds inside. So you can take the seeds off very gently, just clean that up. I'm chucking them back in my flower bed so that I have more next year. I'm just going to finish peeling off that bit there. Can you see already that compared to this side, which is brown and mottled, that this side looks shinier? So I'm hoping that's showing up. What I'm going to do is just peel off the other side. So I'm peeling off the other side, and again that's got some more seeds, so very carefully, because this is like paper thin, just pick those off. Obviously you can save these seeds if you want to sow them in particular spaces, but I've just picked them off. So now I'm left with this very shiny, gorgeous bit of dried flower. I mean, this may sound laborious, but I'm telling you, with a cup of coffee it's very satisfying. Basically you do that to this whole plant, take off the dead leaves and just do it very carefully, lay it on the table while you're doing it, and do it to all of these. I'm just picking off, I mean I wouldn't keep this branch here, that looks pretty ropey. So you can leave them to dry naturally in your flower bed like this, or you can pick them at the stage where they're kind of purple and green and then dry them yourself, and then there'll be less damage from the rain and the wind and pests and cats, which is my problem, they run through the flower beds. So let me show you. So this is just part of one plant. I'm reluctant to take it all because I like this colour in my flower bed. Just, I think it looks really pretty, it doesn't look dead yet. But can you see how the leaves, the seed heads are still in really good condition? Like they're all still attached and nothing's damaged. So if you pick them when they're at this stage, I think they last better. I think they look better when they're dried because you can protect them yourself. So I would pick them at this stage and hang them up to dry, and then when they're dry, then split them. And then the final thing that I would pick to dry is lavender. So let's go and pick some lavender. Look at this basket of fun! So I'm here in front of the corridor bed where we have the lovely lavender hedge going around the outside, and I'm just going to pick some of this lavender here. I'm just going to take a little bit from each of the plants because I don't want to, cut one plant down completely. It is supposed to be a full hedge. Lavender is much shorter than the other plants that I've picked this morning. So what I will do is take it down as far as I can, but not cut too deep into the woody stems, because then the plant will struggle to rejuvenate. Even though it's July and it's not going to get cold anytime soon, I'm just not going to risk it. And as I said, I'll just take a few stems from each of the plants. So try and pick your lavender when it's still got some purple flowers on. Then I'm going to go down to there. Okay, so we've taken it down to where it's still green at the bottom. So with the lavender, I haven't picked too much because I want to leave my hedge as it is at the moment, but I've got a nice bunch here. It smells absolutely wonderful. So many people would just gather their flowers like this and then they'll just tie it up like this and then deal with the mess later, but I can't cope with that. So I take my leaves off. I do it now because I don't want the mess later. And I find this, you know, not particularly laborious. And that way I know that when I come to use them, I'm not going to have to deal with lots of crinkled, dried foliage. So I'm literally just picking off the leaves and any really small bits of lavender stem. Not being too fussy about it. It's also much easier to use in arrangements if it's like one straight stem and it doesn't have lots of little nodules and bits sticking out. Okay, so there's my tidied up bunch of lavender, and I just prefer it to be like this and not have any of this debris. What I then do is I take 2 lengths of garden twine. I take a shorter one to tie the bunch and a longer one to hang the bunch up from the rafters or whatever I'm choosing. And so I lay one along the length, which is the longer one, and then the shorter one I fold in half like this so that you're creating a loop, and then I wrap it around and thread it through so that you could then pull it tight like this. And then the one that I'm going to use to hang it up is threaded in between. So then you pull it really tight because the lavender is going to dehydrate, and as it dehydrates it will become looser in here. So you want to tie it as tight as you can without damaging or breaking the stems. And then I've split the strings and I'm just wrapping round and then tying a knot. And you can tie a pretty bow if you want it to look pretty, hanging from your rafters, and it's easier to undo at the end. And then you've got this string here to hang it up. So the Nigella is a little bit more faffy, but you know, grab yourself a cup of coffee and just, you know, take a moment. I take off all these bits here. These are really fluffy, crinkly things. First of all, these are just going to be at the bottom of an arrangement. You don't need those, and they'll just make a mess. When they're dry, they'll be horribly messy. So I take off those. What I also do is I take off anything that would be like in the vase, and anything that I think is damaged or too small. So the Nigella takes a little bit more cleaning up, but I don't mind doing it at all. And you know, and then I know that I'm going to have a better time. So this one here, this is too little and I don't want that. So I'm just going to pick it off. You can cut it off with your snips if you want. And I'm just taking off quite a bit of this green foliage, you know, the leaves, because I don't want to have to deal with the mess when it's dry. And if I get it off now, it's easier. Many people will just put their bunch together and then not worry about this at all and enjoy the you know, the fluffy dried foliage. And you know, try both, see which you prefer. I like to kind of clean it up like this much, so you know, that's compared to that. And for me, this is cleaner and I'm happier. This one is a little bit low down, but I might leave it and just see. So that's how I do the Nigella, and then I just tie it all together in exactly the same way. So with the Briza Maxima, you can just gather it together and tie it up like this, and it would look fun, but I think you'll agree that it's a little bit messy, and so I try to sort of sort through it and get rid of the rubbish. I mean, I could have picked it stem by stem, but I just couldn't be bothered. But I would get rid of like all these bits. I'd get rid of all the little ones in the bottom here, you know, and just sort of try and line the heads up, because the heads get really tangled up in each other. So it's better if you can line the heads up and get rid of the rubbish. Be careful when you're pulling stuff off the Briza, because the stems snap really easily. So yeah, I tend to just try and line the heads up, you know, with my cup of coffee or my glass of wine. I don't want that bit that's down there getting in my way. With the alliums, there's nothing much to do. Obviously take off any leaves, you don't want those, and then they're pretty much ready to go. I would just tie the bunch in exactly the same way, like this. Hang them upside down to dry. Exactly the same with the giant Scabious. Look at this one, it's so long. The only difference here with the giant Scabious is that if it's got like little crinkly bits here, it's easier to take them off before they all dry, because once these dry, if you pull off these little bits of petal, you might actually take out one of these little seed heads, and you don't want to do that. So that's what I do to these, and I'll do those in a minute. So I hope you found that really interesting and useful, and maybe it's inspired you to run out into your garden and grab some stuff yourself. Look what you can collect! And you know, a lot of people just deadhead this and put it in the compost, but these things are really good to keep. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Feeling hot, hot, hot. Feeling hot, hot, hot. I'm crooked. And you can while away a few hours when these are dry, just making them pearlescent. I wonder who does that for the ones they sell in the shops. I mean, that's a lot. Anyway.